Niger residents blame reckless truck drivers for frequent road crashes. Court orders Yahaya Bello's remand in EFCC custody adjourns case to December the 10th. Troops eliminate 15 terrorists in Kukawa, Borno clearance operation. On the foreign scene, Israel-Hezbollah truce holds as Israel imposes curfew on South Lebanon. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Residents of Agaye in Agaye local government area of Niger State have decried the incessant accidents involving heavy-duty vehicles due to overspeeding since the construction of Lambata to Agaye Road in Niger State. The crashes, according to residents, occurs almost on a daily basis, leaving many worried about the ever-increasing incidents occasioned by truck drivers' recklessness.
Residents said domestic animals are not also left of the tragic incident that happen almost every day. They said while the road that has been in a deplorable state for years has started to wear a new look with the ongoing construction work, overspeeding among heavy-duty drivers is something that needs to be checked, especially when approaching towns and communities along the ever-busy road. One of the victims of the incident in Agaye, Ndeawo Margin, lost one of his legs and right eye after he was knocked down by a trailer. Margin, a veterinary officer with the State Ministry of Agriculture, struggled to hold back tears as he recalls his experience, saying that his life has never been the same since the incident.
I was trying to go to one head where I'm going to do injection of animal around 4:30. So I was trying to go home to go and change my uniform to wear the uniform I used to wear to where I'm going to do my job. So what happened when I was coming? There's a trailer at the back of me, which I know is there, and you know I am there. I have just seen myself at that front of that picture. As I fall down, I just see myself on the front of the TT, match my machine, match my legs. I have any objection that time. It smashed my leg broken completely. In fact, immediately I come back from IDB, I retire from service. My call now to government and state government, please, they should help, because for me personally, I know what happened to me. It happened to so many people. And now, as I'm talking to you presently now, before I come back, I meet some people that this happened to them, they have died. Presently, they have died. And federal government doesn't do anything about it. So presently now, the tie has been done. So the speech over speech, from step down, Nepal step down, up to Denver here, is too much. So I'm begging government, I'm begging state government or federal government, because local government are not able to do it. So I'm begging federal government to come to our head in Agaye to help us with this bomb.
The Secretary, National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, Mahmoud Agaye, stressed the need to check the unruly behavior of heavy-duty vehicles on the road.
We always talk to those driver people when they arrive, even though it's little village or 1 or 2, 10 people have been there. We have what we are called speed limit. Like example 1, when you have a speed, maybe you are driving from various places, very where there's not any village around. If your speed should be around 120 or 100, and immediately that we get in another village or town, should be back to 60 to 50. Why not? Because of some people, they have not even know they have crossed the road. But when you have speed limit, things may be come to you, maybe inshallah you may be okay. Or even though God has write that, because anything that God has write in destiny, it must get to you. But you may be carelessly about the life of the people.
Data from the Social Welfare Department of Agay local government showed that 85 people have died from the accident involving heavy-duty vehicles between April and November this year. Residents are therefore calling on the Federal Ministry of Works and state government to construct speed breakers to check the overspeeding among the heavy-duty vehicle drivers, or construct a bypass to divert the traffic of such vehicles out of the town. Abubakar Akote, Trust TV News, Mina.
Justice Marian Aneni of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory FCT has fixed December 10th for ruling in the bail applications by former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello and 2 others. The judge fixed the date after taking arguments for and against the bail request by Bello's lawyer Joseph Bodinde Daudu, SAN, and Kemi Pehinro, SAN, for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Daudu had pleaded with the court to admit the former governor to bail on various grounds. However, EFCC counsel Kemi Pehinro, SAN, argued otherwise. She noted that Bello may likely interfere with the witnesses and exhibits. Justice Marian Aneni thereafter announced that she will make her decision on December 10th. The judge ordered that the 3 defendants should remain in EFCC custody until the rulings are delivered.
It's okay. This mapping is okay. Your head.
To security matters now. In a sustained effort to dismantle terrorist operations, troops of the multinational Joint Task Force operating under the Sector 3 in Monguno have sustained its onslaught against terrorist operation in the Kukawa axis of Borno State. Consolidating on the recent victory, the troops, in a joint effort with hybrid force and air component support, have intercepted and neutralized some fleeing wounded ISWAP terrorists and captured an additional cache of weapons. During the coordinated air and ground clearance operations, troops' air component successfully targeted and interdicted several armed and wounded terrorists on motorbikes, regrouping in Guzamala. In a follow-up ground operation, troops eliminated 15 terrorists and captured 1 alive as they attempted to flee while others sustained more injuries. The troops also destroyed 3 additional vehicle-borne improvised explosive devices, bringing the total number of vehicle-borne improvised explosive devices destroyed to 7. A statement by the Chief Military Information Officer, Headquarters in N'Djamena, Chad, Lieutenant Colonel Olani Oshoba, said the operation led to the capture of a significant cache of weapons, including 7 AK-47 rifles, 1 rocket-propelled grenade, RPG bomb and tube, 2 anti-aircraft guns, and 152 Shelka rounds of ammunition. Still on security, the joint security operatives have neutralized 3 suspected armed bandits terrorizing Al-Aleri forest in a gun duel near Yankari Games Reserve in Bauchi State. The State Police Commissioner, Awal Musa Mohammed, confirmed the incident while conducting the state governor and some journalists around the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, where the injured police personnel are receiving treatment. Trust TV's Ademo Imam has details.
The police commissioner, while addressing the media, said the command was notified that some bandits invaded Yankari Forest in Al-Aleri local government area. Noted that personnel who were in a joint patrol traced the bandits and engaged them in a gun duel.
We quickly mobilized our hunters squad, then the police and civil defense personnel of the military to checkmate their movements in the reserve. We are able to succeed and gunned down 2 to 3 of them, but unfortunately they wounded one of the hunters, which has a very serious issue on his leg. It has almost been cut. Then there are some bruises on his men and the civil defense personnel.
The state governor, Bala Mohammed, commended the bravery of the personnel, explaining that their positive actions saved many innocent lives that will have been terrorized by the bandits.
To SSS, civil defense of the brigade commander and the management is working very well because the rule of engagement has been perfected and the communities are all involved. And our security architecture is very unique. We are not publicizing so much, but it's working because all the personnel are highly mobilized and incentivized and put in a situation where they can put their life on the line of fire for people to sleep. I want the people, our leaders, our spiritual leaders, to pray for them.
The security chiefs in the state reaffirmed their commitment to ensure that life and property in the state are secured. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
There was confusion in KK community of the Kaduna Millennium City over the abduction of 2-year-old child and 3 sisters. The incident was said to have occurred around 9 p.m. on Tuesday when their father went to hospital to see their mother, who had just delivered of twins. The victims are aged between 2, 9, 12, and 15. The father of the victims, Yunusa Sarikin Samarin KK, said one of the children was an orphan under his care. He added that he had not heard from the abductors, noting that it was only his house that was invaded by the abductors in the night. Reports say KK community and parts of the Kaduna Millennium City have been terrorized by suspected bandits who usually kidnap residents for ransom. Meanwhile, the State Police Command is yet to comment on the incident. The Delta State Command of the Nigeria Police Force has paraded 7 kidnapped suspects in the state. The alleged kidnappers during an interrogation said they started with car thefts using master keys, then to bigger vehicles with guns before upgrading to full-time kidnapping. They pleaded for mercy. While parading the suspects, the police public relations officer, Delta State Command, Idafe Bright, noted that the Delta State Command, led by CP Olufemi Abaniwanda, has declared war on kidnappers, stressing that some have been killed in a gun duel with the police. Other suspects paraded along with the kidnapped suspects include those for armed robbery, illicit drug abuse, dealing, and fraud.
Of November 2024, operative of the CP Special Assignment Team effected the arrest of a notorious gang member, namely Gostein Ajuba. Is aged 41 years old. He was arrested at Wellington Road, Mosoga, Ethiop East local government area of Delta State. Upon interrogation, he led the operative to their hideout, situated in one of the towns in Mosoga, where they usually keep their weapon.
Come one fateful day. He say he want me to come out from that car snatching. First for that car snatching to bigger one. Association be the bigger one. He said the person they buy the car for, he need bigger car than this one. Because okay, how will confidently get that bigger car? Because key know they carry the bigger car. Key know they carry them. All those ones will be killers. He can say he don't go bring gun come. Say don't bring guns. Say once we follow those motor, say they just come from club. Say because now club now we see all those big motor. Say once we follow them from club they come. Now for we serve to hold the motor with the gun.
Sexual and gender-based violence is a major threat to girl-child education in Nigeria, deepening inequality and limiting opportunities for women. Fewer girls in school meant greater vulnerability and disempowerment in society. This special report examines the situation.
The Paged initiative, in collaboration with the Dorothy Njamanze Foundation, marked 16 days of activism by spotlighting the devastating impact of sexual and gender-based violence on girls' education. The program explored barriers to education and highlighted the role of communities, schools, and governments in driving solutions.
But as part of that project, rather than doing it ourselves, we're actually using it as a teaching moment, building the capacity of young girls in Kano and Kaduna State to be advocates for girls' education themselves, so that even after we have left, they can continue to advocate, in the various communities within their states, the various barriers to girls' education, and even beyond education, they can move on to all the various gender issues within their communities that they want to advocate for.
They speak up. Do we have systems in place like police and other law enforcement, offices that are ready to receive them and render non-discriminatory services? Are people still discriminated against because of their background, or maybe because they identify as sex workers, or whatever it is? There should be total non-discriminatory services offered to all victims and survivors of gender-based violence.
Media advocacy on barriers to girl-child education has sparked conversations around solutions. Nana Khadija and Anita Yakubu, volunteers with the Paged initiative, shared field insights on the challenges and opportunities for change.
Most of the times, the people in the community tend to, they are unable to differentiate culture from religion, and some of them end up mixing it. And so, the whole culture of a girl should be in the kitchen, rather. A girl should be in the kitchen, a girl should be the mother, a girl should be. They don't really see the importance of a girl.
I think having support from communities, having support from community leaders, having support to access some particular communities and talk to their women is one challenge, and having the people to give you feedback is another challenge.
Freelance communication consultant Ibrahim Ilyasu highlighted gender bias and societal expectations placed on men, shedding light on their impact in shaping perceptions and behaviors.
The word gender itself, it's not, and that's a mistake. There's gender, there's sex. Sex is male, female.
An educated girl is an empowered girl, but violence shatters that empowerment. Socio-cultural challenges in Nigeria remain a major barrier to unlocking the full potential of our society.
As the world observes the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls, a non-governmental organization, Medical Women's Association of Nigeria, has underscored that violence against women and girls remains one of the most prevalent and pervasive human rights violations worldwide. National President of the association, Professor Rosemary Ogu, stated this during a media briefing to inaugurate the 2024 16 Days of Activism to End Gender-Based Violence. The report.
Professor Ogu revealed that 1 in 3 women globally experiences physical or sexually intimate partner violence, non-partner sexual violence, or both at least once in their lifetime. Ogu also advocated for the empowerment of women and girls in order to reduce the level of vulnerability to abuse.
The solution lies in robust responses, holding perpetrators accountable and accelerating action through well-resourced national strategies and increased funding to women's rights movements in the fight against abuse of women and girls, and calling for more action from governments, organizations, and individuals globally to reinforce peace for women and girls.
She urged governments, communities, and stakeholders to invest in comprehensive strategies that combine prevention, protection, and accountability.
For us as medical women, we have had to be the first respondents to gender-based violence, because sometimes they're physical, sometimes they're sexual, and at other times they're emotional that require counseling. And what government of the country is doing is to see that health insurance is available to the people of the country, such that you don't just stay at home because you can't afford to pay for a medical intervention.
We believe that if we can have conversations among students and teaching staff, lecturers, and even the leadership in universities, we can help universities across the country who haven't put policies in place to checkmate sexual harassment, to jumpstart that.
MWEN urged everyone to amplify their voices using hashtag 16 days and to take concrete steps to build a safer world where no woman or girl lives in fear of violence.
Against Hunger has received a grant from the USAID's Bureau for Humanitarian Assistance for a project titled Stronger Communities Through Stronger Protection Environment in the Northeast Nigeria. The project will be implemented in Borno State, Nigeria by a consortium of 6 agencies: DRC, Care Best Initiative, Family Health International, Grassroots Initiative for Strengthening Community Resilience, Norwegian Refugee Council, and Premier Urgence International. Trust TV's Dorcas Yakubu has details.
Speaking at the event, the representatives of the NGOs say the consortium aims to elevate the sufferings and enhance the resilience of displacement-affected populations in Mongonu, Konduga, Mafa, and Nganzai local government areas of Borno State, Nigeria.
USAID is proud of its partnership at the state and national levels to facilitate the delivery of humanitarian assistance to communities where it is most needed. As you implement these projects, remember the IDPs who are counting on all of us to deliver life-saving assistance with dignity, care, and respect.
Thanks to the generosity of the American people for funding these 2 important projects. You are not the donor for only these 2 projects in Borno. You are the major, biggest humanitarian and development donor in Nigeria.
Our partners in Borno are doing well. Action Against Hunger, Danish Refugees Council, USAID, and other partners, just to see that, yes, they improve the healthcare services of our people in Borno State.
Similarly, Action Against Hunger, ACF, with partners Save the Children International, Borno Women Development Initiative, Youth Integrated for Positive Development Initiative, and Ecclesia Noah and Nigeria projects have been awarded a grant from the same donor for the Empowering and Nurturing Resilience, Integration, and Community Health in Borno State project.
Saving the lives, alleviating the suffering, and reducing the impact of disasters by helping nearly 1.4 million people in 8 LGAs in Borno to become more resilient in the faces of humanitarian crisis.
The consortium coordinator, Andrew Marvel, spoke on the importance of the project to the public.
This project is very important because if you look at the indices for all these sectors are dire in all these locations. If you look at the wash needs in these locations, you see that it's a very significant number of persons do not have access or have limited access to wash facilities in these locations.
The project aims to strengthen the protective environment for displaced populations and host communities by providing integrated, multi-sectoral, community-based humanitarian assistance in areas such as protection, health, nutrition, shelter, and non-food items, water, sanitation and hygiene, agriculture, food security, and economic recovery. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Some senators at the Senate's Wednesday's plenary protested against a motion to suspend the Senate's rules and proceedings to allow the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Zachos Adedeji, and the chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, into the Red Chamber. However, the Senate went ahead to suspend the rules and admit Adedeji and the consultants into plenary for them to explain to senators the details or give them detailed briefings on what the tax reform bill entails. The report.
Before they were admitted, a slight uproar ensued as some lawmakers kicked against the entry of the FIRS chairman and the consultants into the chamber. Senators Abdul Nengi and Ali Ndume raised an objection over the Senate's decision to suspend the business of the day and entertain a separate matter in spite of its validity.
I don't see anywhere whereby the senators should allow these people to come here and make the kind of interactions they so want. However, committees of the Senate and Appropriation can invite for the interaction of this manner, but not the Senate in session. I think our rule does not cover invitation to consultants or any official of government to come and bring the senators.
Try to use the position of the Senate, because the order paper is clear and we have been doing this. I have no problem having them to come here and explain whatever. We have been doing that, but we follow known procedures. And that is, if today this thing has to be taken, you now quickly ask for supplementary order paper that will reflect this. And as you say, this is a very, very important matter. It is not a matter that you just come and tell us after we are doing business of the day. Mr. President, you can have your way, but I will have my say.
Despite the objections, Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, who presided over the plenary session, defended the Senate's actions, dismissing concerns as unnecessary rhetoric.
Clamoring for openness in this arrangement. We want to be open. We want Nigerians to know. We want everybody to know what's wrong here. We are trying to make everything open.
The heated exchange underscored the growing tension surrounding the tax reform bill, which has drawn widespread public interest and concern over its potential impact on Nigeria's economy. Meanwhile, the Federal Capital Territory Development Commission bill passed second reading on Wednesday at the Red Chamber of the National Assembly. The sponsor of the bill, Wadada Aliyu, highlighted the significant challenges posed by the rapid growth of Abuja as Nigeria's political and economic center on surrounding towns. According to Aliyu, the bill aims to create a specialized commission tasked with managing the development of satellite towns within a 60-kilometer radius of the FCT borders.
The creation of the Federal Capital Territory has also continued to have significant socio-cultural, economic and political impact on the surrounding towns and communities. While Abuja has become a hub for governmental, political and economic activities, the neighboring towns to the FCT have continued to experience various challenges as they are all de facto extensions of Abuja.
The bill received polarized reaction during the debate, with some senators expressing concerns over funding and the potential duplication of efforts with existing agencies.
The satellite towns have no infrastructure. Budgetary provisions are grossly inadequate. In fact, it is only the FCT budget that is funding the satellite towns, but the FCT budget doesn't include funding of satellite towns. So for this reason, Mr. President, I support this bill.
FCT, we all live here, all the agencies are here, all the MDAs, all of them are here. So it does not make sense for us to ignore the realities of having so many people living in the capital. And the capital isn't just the few districts that have been developed.
Those satellite towns of the FCT are those satellite towns that are within the constitutionally recognized boundaries of the Federal Capital Territory. To extend it outside would mean amending the Constitution.
Presiding over plenary, Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, before passing the bill for second reading, stated that the bill will be configured at the committee level before its final passage.
Of course, when the report is brought to the floor of the Senate, we'll look at how the committee is going to do the entire thing, and if it's okay with us, then we can pass it. But it's not in tandem with the Constitution, or it doesn't go well, it's not sensible, it's not okay, then of course we can get it aborted.
Those
Those in favor that the bill be read the second time, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Other bills were also debated at the Wednesday's plenary.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, Kano Trade Fair showcases investment opportunities for non-oil sector. We have more news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Trust News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Niger state residents blame reckless truck drivers for frequent road crashes. And we also told you that court orders Yahya Bello's remand in EFCC custody and adjourns case to December the 10th. Moving on now, the need for journalists to engage more in investigative reportage was the focus of a 3-day training workshop on investigative reporting organized by Daily Trust Foundation with the support of MacArthur Foundation. The workshop, which aims to prepare journalists who are beginners with the basic skills and techniques for investigative reporting, drew participants across different media organizations. Trust TV's Bello Musa has details.
As beginners in the field of journalism, aspiring to be investigative reporters, this training is key in achieving their desire. Stakeholders, including veteran journalists at the training, say the workshop is apt and timely.
This is the journalism of the future. This is the journalism that will be practiced henceforth. In 10 years' time, AI or whatever technology that may evolve will take over jobs. Not only in journalism, but in medicine, in law, and every other profession that you know. But AI can certainly not take over investigative journalism. It could take over features writing. It could take over news reporting somewhat, because you could just feed the data you want and a news story will pop up.
The chairman, Board of Trustees of Daily Trust Foundation, Biliabala, says investigative reporting is a Herculean task for those who lack the skills to carry out investigative reports, adding that the training will prepare the grounds for the beginners to excel.
The reporters who are not trained in this field could end up in a very difficult situation, because if you go and report something that is not factual, that you have not investigated well, that you have not understood, you might be liable. And if you fall into the hands of the authorities for reporting untruthful things, you know the consequences.
A member of the Board of Trustees, Daily Trust Foundation, Nur Yakubu, said the training is part of the foundation's corporate social responsibility.
Basically, as I mentioned, it's a non-profit organization. It's the corporate social responsibility wing of the media trusts that are owners of the Daily Trust. And it engages in social services, education, and training.
It was an engaging and interactive workshop where resource persons equipped the participant with the skills necessary to excel as an investigative journalist.
What we try to show in this workshop is how investigative journalism is important. Its democratic function, because like we said, it's about how power is used or abused in society, and the role of journalists to make sure that those who abuse power are made to face the consequences, and that it is good for the system as a whole.
The training organized by the Daily Trust and MacArthur Foundations will sharpen the skills of participants to become prepared as investigative reporters. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Electricity workers under the Nigerian Union of Electricity Employees FCT Council partially shut down activities at the headquarters of the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company AEDC on Wednesday, following the expiration of an earlier ultimatum. The union had earlier urged its members to shut down all AEDC offices on Wednesday over the management's inability to meet its demands. The staff blocked the entrance of the headquarters, chanting solidarity songs with placards reading "No casualization of workers," "No to board interference," "We demand payment of 15-month salaries and pension," and these were visible at the protest ground. When contacted, AEDC's head of marketing and communications, Adefisayo Akisoya, said the face-off with the union members is a minor issue and has been resolved. Similarly, the chief technical officer of the AEDC and the chairman of the union said the strike is called off earlier in the day after it reached an agreement with the management of the AEDC. Residents of the Wuro Shie Gombe Metropolitan Community have expressed dissatisfaction with the Jos Electricity Distribution Company over its failure to repair the faulty transformer in the community, despite the contribution of money to the fund to make the repairs. According to residents, the development has made life more difficult as the power blackout has negatively impacted their daily living. Hassan Koli has details.
This is the transformer stand that once powered Wuro, a community home to hundreds of residents. For months, it has remained non-functional, plunging the area into darkness. What has angered the community most is that they raised funds and handed over to the Jos Electricity Distribution Company JET for its repair. Yet, nothing has been done.
So a lokacin ranmu ya ɓaci mun yi ta maganganu wanda
when our transformer malfunctioned and we complained to the JET office, they complained of limited resources and advised that we should wait. Realizing we may have to wait longer than necessary, we decided to contribute 400,000 naira amongst ourselves because we could not wait for JET anymore. But after giving them the money, they just kept delaying and making excuses. This is 6 months now, yet we don't have light. Right now, we don't have access to cold drinks as well as water from boreholes, and our businesses are collapsing, while phone snatches has surged due to dark streets. We have exhausted all avenues to restore light to our community because we have filed numerous complaints and contributed money, but JET is still unable to fix the transformer. So we are urging anybody capable of intervening to help us resolve this issue. The community claims it paid almost 400,000 naira to JET months ago, hoping that a repair will bring relief. However, they say they are still in dark as the transformer is yet to be fixed. My business depends on electricity to stay afloat. I have lost so much because I can't store anything. In fact, I stopped selling soft drinks. We are urging JET and other concerned stakeholders to resolve the issue, please. According to sources within the Jos Electricity Distribution Company, the company only connects vendors, saying that communities who decide to fund repairs or purchases should do so through official channels, as there are many transformers awaiting repairs. The source also confirmed that electricity at Wuro community will be restored as soon as transformer oil arrive from the company's headquarters. Frustrated but determined, the people of Wuro are demanding immediate action, saying they will continue to voice out their plight. From Gombe, Hassan Kohli, reporting for Trust TV.
The 2024 14-day Kano International Trade Fair is in full swing as the 35th edition of the fair entered its 5th day. This year's theme, non-oil export for economic prosperity, is focusing
the fair is organized
on the immense potential of diversifying Nigeria's economy. Abdulaziz Ibrahim visited the trade fair ground and filed this report.
By the Kano Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. At the bustling trade fair, businesses showcased innovative ways of transforming Nigeria's abundant natural resources into exportable finished products.
We are the major indigenous producer of this salt lake, and even now we have trade requests from Niger Republic, which we are processing, and our product has reached also Chad.
Among the exhibitors is Zuwaira, an entrepreneur running an organic shop making use of entirely locally sourced plants like spices, baobab, neem and others.
Like shea butter is one of the prominent ones that have been used in so many parts of the world. Shea butter is a product that we underrate here in Africa, but little do we know that it has so many benefits to our skin and our hair. And the foreign people have been coming to buy it and reproduce it into another different product and bringing it back to sell to us, and those products are quite expensive.
Zuwaira's sentiments reflect a common concern among local businesses that there is a need for local producers to harness these raw materials for lucrative non-oil exportable products. Meanwhile, at the Nigeria Export Promotion Council Pavilion, entrepreneurs were put through unnecessary documentation and registration for engaging in exports in Nigeria. For these spices that we sell, we believe that if we had the right infrastructure and policies, we could process a large amount so that we can both meet local demand and even compete internationally. My business is about processing traditional foods, but we are ready to expand. But infrastructure is always a big problem, better roads, reliable power, and then maybe the government can try to make exporting easier for us so that we can grow and contribute to the economy. The 35th Kano International Trade Fair not only portrays the untapped potentials in Nigeria's non-oil sector, but is also a reminder of the critical role of policy in driving economic diversification. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News.
The Jigawa State Government has announced the implementation of the new national minimum wage of 70,000 naira, effective December 2024. Following successful negotiations with the labor leaders, Governor Umaru Namadi made the announcement during the signing ceremony of the new minimum wage law at the Government House in Dutse. The report.
In his remarks, Governor Namadi emphasized that the total benefits received by Jigawa workers, including additional perks and allowances, effectively raised their earnings to 80,000 naira. He commended the cordial relationship between the state government and the organized labor, urging workers to remain dedicated to their duties in appreciation of the gesture.
It's only in Jigawa State the civil servant has a subsidized shop where they can go and buy essential commodity at subsidized price and on credit. It is only in Jigawa State that civil servants have access to money where they can borrow and go and farm throughout the year. I am sure it is only in Jigawa State the 70,000 minimum wage is well protected. Because with the farmers, with the workers going to the farm and with the credit from the state government, they can be able to grow what they can eat year round, all the year round.
The chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) in Jigawa State, Sanusi Al-Hassan, expressed delight over the new development. He noted that workers were thrilled with the initiative and looked forward to receiving their enhanced salaries at the end of December.
On behalf of organized labor and the civil servant of Jigawa State,
I want to thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Jigawa State, Comrade Malam Umar Namadi, FCA, for the approval of the 70,000 new minimum wage and the consequential adjustment for the workers in the state. And also commend the state governor in this area, like employment of over 7,000 civil servants in the state, injecting of over 5.4 billion naira to contributory pension scheme for the sustainability.
The organized labor also appreciated the government's commitment to improving workers' welfare and called on employees to reciprocate the gesture by demonstrating diligence and loyalty in their service to the state. The event was marked by solidarity songs from the labor union, symbolizing unity and a shared commitment to progress.
Back to the legislature now. The House of Representatives has charged the acting Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, to lead with integrity, professionalism, and a deep commitment to the protection of lives and property. The Chairman House Committee on Defense, Babajimi Benson, gave the charge on Wednesday when the acting Chief of Army Staff appeared before the committee for screening and confirmation. Representative Benson noted that the current dynamics of global security demand innovative and adaptive strategies. The lawmaker noted that the threats are no longer confined to traditional battlefields, stressing that they now extend to cyberspace, economic domains, and even socio-political fabric of nations. He urged the acting Chief of Army Staff that if confirmed, is expected to foster synergy among security agencies, prioritize the welfare of troops, and uphold the trust of Nigerians. In his response, the acting Chief of Army Staff assured the committee of robust cooperation between sister agencies to ensure tactical deployment of and protection of Nigeria's territorial integrity. Time now to join Yusuf Akogu for business news.
CBN on Tuesday pegged the minimum foreign exchange trade on electronic foreign exchange machine system platform at $100,000 with an incremental clip size of $50,000. The Apex Bank direct banks to deploy and go live in the use of the Bloomberg B-Match as the e-firms for trading activities in the forex market effective December 2, 2024. In the guidelines for the e-firm, the CBN added that participants must set credit and settlement limit for other counterparties in the system as transactions exceeding this limit will not be executed. The Nigerian Customs Service say it has returned 21 lottery vehicles worth over 1.8 billion naira to Canada after they were stolen and smuggled into Nigeria by a criminal syndicate. Speaking to newsmen in Lagos on Tuesday, Comptroller General of Customs Adewale Adeni emphasized the seriousness of the growing trade in stolen vehicles and its impact on Nigeria's economy and security. According to Adeni, Nigeria has become a significant hub for stolen vehicles in West Africa, with syndicates exploiting the country's ports and borders to traffic vehicles from regions such as Europe, North America, and South America. He said that data from the NBS indicate that 54% of stolen vehicles were recovered between 2013 and 2015, illustrating the scale of the problem. Now let's see the global stock market for today. Oil prices hold steady on Wednesday as markets evaluated a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah, while also anticipating Sunday's OPEC Plus meeting, where the group could delay a planned increase in oil output. And the London market Brent crude sells for $73 a barrel. For the paper basket, price drops to $73 a barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akogu.
Away from Nigeria, a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanese armed group Hezbollah came into force on Wednesday after the two sides struck a deal brokered by the United States and France. But Israel warned local residents not to return to the border area yet or approach its troops. The agreement, a rare diplomatic feat in a region plagued by conflict for months, ended the deadliest confrontation between Israel and the Iran-backed militant group in years. But Israel is still fighting its other arc for the Palestinian militant group Hamas in Gaza Strip. Cars and vans piled high with mattresses, suitcases, and even furniture streamed through the heavily bombed southern port city of Terror, heading south, where hundreds of thousands of people had been forced to flee their homes by the violence. The ceasefire promises to end a conflict across the Israeli-Lebanese border that has killed thousands of people since it was ignited by the Gaza war in 2023. However, the Israeli Army's Arabic spokesperson cautioned southern Lebanon residents against moving south of the Litani River from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. local time, noting that the Israeli forces are still present in the area. With that, we conclude and come to the end of this Wednesday's edition of News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, program, and documentary. Thank you for watching. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Good night.